Hello and a very warm welcome to Parliament This Week, your weekly roundup of all important developments in Parliament. I'm Kriti Mishra and now let's begin the show. President Ramnath Kovind issued the formal summons for convening the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha for the budget session. Parliament's budget session will begin on January 29th, with Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha meeting in separate 5-hour shifts to ensure physical distancing due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
The President will address both Houses of Parliament jointly at 11 a.m. on 29 January in the Central Hall. Rajya Sabha will have a separate sitting for government business 1 hour after the conclusion of the sitting of the Lok Sabha on 29 January. Since the Union Budget for 2021-22 will be presented in the Lok Sabha at 11 a.m. on 1st February, there will be no question hour that day in the Rajya Sabha. The sitting of the Rajya Sabha will accordingly commence 1 hour after the presentation of the Union Budget in the Lok Sabha. In view of the COVID-19 pandemic, summons have been issued through members' portal only. Article 85(1) of the Constitution empowers the President to summon each House of Parliament to meet at such time and place as he thinks fit. But this has to be within 6 months of the previous sitting that was held. The winter session of the Parliament could not be held due to the spread of the pandemic. The monsoon session of Parliament also had to be curtailed. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Question hour will be taken up in the budget session of Parliament. Notices of questions, both starred and unstarred, may be given either in the serial numbered printed forms or electronically through e-notices portal available on the homepage of Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha. Here are the details.
In a sitting, a member can give a maximum of 7 notices of questions for question hour. 15 questions are taken up in all in one sitting. The chairman has also decided that 2 supplementaries may be allowed to the member in whose name a starred question has been listed. 3 more members may be allowed a supplementary each. In case of a starred question that is not put or the member in whose name it is appearing is absent, 3 members may be allowed a supplementary each. The draw of lots or ballot to determine the members whose notices of questions will be taken up for oral answers will be held manually. A separate computerized ballot will be held for unstarred questions. It will indicate the priority for written answers for a list of 160 questions. In order to encourage the digital platform and also to minimize use of paper, from the 252nd session onwards, printed lists of questions to members has been discontinued. The soft copy of question lists will be published on the Rajya Sabha website. The list of starred and unstarred questions will also be available after publishing the list on the website in the members' portal. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi had moved a motion in the previous 252nd session stating that starred questions may not be brought for transaction because of COVID-19. The motion was unanimously accepted. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And private members' business will be taken up during the 253rd session of the Rajya Sabha. For determining the priority of pending private members' bills, there shall be a single draw of lot for all the days allotted to private members' bills in the session on January 22nd in the Secretary General's room.
Private member bills will be taken up in the Rajya Sabha on Fridays on 5th February, 12th and 26th March and on 8th April, which is a Thursday. Private member resolutions will be taken up on 12th February, 19th March, on Fridays and on 1st April, which is a Thursday. Private members' business is normally taken up on Fridays. For this purpose, 2.5 hours of the sitting are allotted. However, the chairman, in consultation with the leader of the House, can also allot any other day other than Friday for private members' business. If there is no sitting of the Council on a Friday, the chairman may direct that 2.5 hours on any other day in the same week may be allotted. In such an eventuality, generally Thursday is allotted for the purpose. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And the duration of the 0 hour or for matters raised with permission of chair will be 30 minutes during the 253rd session of the Rajya Sabha. Members can raise matters after the mandatory advance notice. No member shall be allowed to make more than one submission as matter raised with permission in a week. As construction work of the new Parliament building started on Friday. The new Parliament building will have a triangular shape and is expected to be completed by the 75th anniversary of India's independence in 2022. The government plans to hold the monsoon session of Parliament in 2022 in the new Parliament building. Earlier this week, a 14-member heritage panel gave its approval to the new Parliament building while also giving the go-ahead to the Central Vista redevelopment project. The new Parliament building will house larger Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha halls with capacities of 888 seats and 384 seats respectively to accommodate an expanded Parliament. The Lok Sabha hall will also have an additional capacity to host joint sessions. The architecture of the new Parliament shall complement or harmonise with that of the present Parliament and other buildings of the Central Vista. And the use of regional languages in the proceedings of Rajya Sabha has increased many-fold during the 3 years period of 2018 to 20, with Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu regularly urging the members of the House to do so. During this period, 4 languages, Dogri, Kashmiri, Konkani and Santhali, have been used for the first time since the Rajya Sabha came into being since 1952. Apart from Hindi and English, use of 21 other scheduled Indian languages increased to over 5 times per sitting in 2020 as compared to years from 2004 to 17. During this period, 4 languages, Dogri, Kashmiri, Konkani and Santhali, have been used for the first time since the inception of the upper house. 6 languages, Assamese, Bodo, Gujarati, Maithili, Manipuri and Nepali, have been used after a long gap. Rajya Sabha members spoke in 10 scheduled languages in the House on 269 occasions during 923 sittings between 2004 and 2017. In 2020, 49 interventions in regional languages were made during 33 sittings. In comparison, during 2013 to 17, spanning over 329 sittings, members spoke only in 10 regional languages on 96 times, all limited to debates. However, during 2018 to 20, with 163 sittings, regional languages were used 135 times, including 66 interventions in debates, 62 0R and 7 special mentions. While announcing the availability of simultaneous interpretation facilities in all the 22 scheduled languages in July 2018, Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu spoke in 10 languages in the House.
I am happy to inform you that the Rajya Sabha Secretariat has now made arrangements for simultaneous interpretation of the proceedings of the House in the remaining 5 languages also. Dogri, Kashmiri, Konkani, Santhali, Sindhi. With this, the members can speak in all the 22 languages listed in the 8th schedule.
With 12 interventions in Sanskrit, all during 2019-20, it has emerged as the 5th widely used in the Rajya Sabha after Hindi, Telugu, Urdu and Tamil. Kriti Mishra, Rajya Sabha TV. And Prime Minister Modi addressed the valedictory session of the 2nd National Youth Parliament Festival. Take a look at this detailed report.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the valedictory function of the 2nd National Youth Parliament Festival on Tuesday. Calling dynastic politics the biggest enemy of democracy, he said it gives rise to a new form of dictatorship that burdened the nation with incompetence.
पॉलिटिक्स देश में सार्थक बदलाव लाने का एक सशक्त माध्यम है। हर क्षेत्र की तरह पॉलिटिक्स को भी युवाओं की बहुत ज्यादा जरूरत है। नई सोच, नई ऊर्जा, नए सपने, नया उमंग, देश की राजनीति को इसकी बहुत जरूरत है। लोकतंत्र का एक सबसे बड़ा दुश्मन पनप रहा है और वो है राजनीतिक वंशवाद। राजनीतिक वंशवाद देश के सामने ऐसी ही चुनौती है जिसे जड़ से उखाड़ना है।
The Prime Minister exhorted the youth to contribute constructively in politics and said honest people are getting the opportunity to serve.
विवेकानंद जी कहते थे कि ये सदी भारत की है। इस सदी को, भारत की सदी, हमारी युवा पीढ़ी को ही बनाना है। आप जो भी करिए, जो भी फैसला लीजिए, उसमें जरूर सोचिए कि इससे देश का क्या हित होगा। साथियों, स्वामी विवेकानंद जी कहते थे कि हमारे युवाओं को आगे आकर राष्ट्र का भाग्य विधाता बनना चाहिए। इसलिए ये आपकी जिम्मेदारी है कि भारत के भविष्य का नेतृत्व करें।
He added that the new education policy is focused on individual development by providing flexibility in the course structure that will give better opportunities to the youth.
आज जो देश में नई नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी लागू की गई है, उसका भी बहुत बड़ा फोकस बेहतर इंडिविजुअल्स के निर्माण पर है। व्यक्ति निर्माण से राष्ट्र निर्माण। ये पॉलिसी युवाओं की इच्छा, युवाओं के कौशल, युवाओं की समझ, युवाओं के फैसले को सर्वोच्च प्राथमिकता देती है।
The Prime Minister also paid rich tributes to Swami Vivekanand on his birth anniversary and said his ideals have inspired every generation.
स्वामी जी हमेशा कहते थे और वो इस बात पर बल देते थे, वे शारीरिक ताकत पर भी बल देते थे, मानसिक ताकत पर भी बल देते थे। वो कहते थे, मसल्स ऑफ आयरन एंड नर्व्स ऑफ स्टील। उनकी प्रेरणा, उन्हीं की प्रेरणा से आज भारत के युवाओं की शारीरिक और मानसिक फिटनेस पर विशेष फोकस किया जा रहा है। फिट इंडिया मूवमेंट हो, योग के प्रति जागरूकता हो, या फिर स्पोर्ट्स से जुड़े आधुनिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का निर्माण, ये युवाओं को मानसिक और शारीरिक रूप से सुदृढ़ कर रहे हैं।
Prime Minister Modi also emphasized that it was the responsibility of youth to work to make India self-reliant. With inputs from Akhilesh Suman, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla has said that all parliaments must respect the sovereign mandate of other parliaments. He made these remarks during a virtual discussion with the President of European Parliament on challenges posed by COVID-19 pandemic and climate change.
मैं चाहूंगा कि दोनों संसदें आपस में समय समय पर अपने संसदीय प्रक्रियाओं को आदान प्रदान करती रहे और समय समय पर दोनों संसद के संसद सदस्य भी फ्रेंडशिप ग्रुप के रूप में आपस में अपने विचारों को एक्सचेंज कर सके। दोनों संसदों को जनप्रतिनिधियों को और अधिकार देने संबंध में विचार साझा करना चाहिए ताकि लोकतंत्र को और मजबूत बनाया जा सके।
And here are all the developments related to parliamentary standing committees through the week. The Parliamentary Committee on the Welfare of Scheduled Castes and Scheduled Tribes, headed by BJP MP Kirit Solanki, discussed the role of educational institutions in the socio-economic development of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. The Parliamentary Committee on External Affairs, headed by Lok Sabha MP PP Chaudhary, adopted the draft report on the Anti-Maritime Piracy Bill 2019. In another meeting, the panel discussed evidence of non-official witnesses and experts on India's Neighbourhood First policy. The Committee on Finance discussed and adopted a draft report on Factoring Regulation Amendment Bill 2020. Also on the agenda was evidence of the representatives of the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India and Punjab National Bank on implementation of Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, pitfalls and solutions. The Union Health Secretary and the ICMR DG deposed before the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Health and Family Welfare to brief on the development and distribution of the coronavirus vaccine. The Parliamentary Panel on Education, Women, Children, Youth Affairs and Sports held discussions with the representatives of NCERT and CBSE on reforms in the context and designs of textbooks. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. And that's all we had for you in this edition of Parliament This Week. Thanks for watching and stay tuned to Rajya Sabha TV.